Next, we'll demo connecting to the Data Science Pipelines API server from some Python code running outside of the cluster. You'll recall in the previous section we have a Flipcoin pipeline instance created, and we have two runs of that pipeline, run 1 and run 2. We'll use a very simple Python script to connect to the API server, list the pipelines, and list the runs. First, let's install a Python virtual environment. Next, let's install the KFP Tekton library. And I'm going to pin that to version 1.5.4 to keep the compatibility with the version 1 API for Kubeflow pipelines. Next, we need to provide the Data Science Pipelines API server endpoint. If I flip back over to my OpenShift console, I have to get this information from the route that is pointed at the Data Science Pipelines server instance. So I go to Networking, Routes. I need to go to the project we created earlier, my first ML pipeline project. The DSP API server runs under this namespace, and this is the route that we need to copy. Since I'm logged in as administrator to this cluster, I'm just going to go ahead and use my own personal token to allow this Python script to authenticate to the cluster as me. I'll delete this cluster as soon as I'm done recording this demo, so I don't mind showing the token in the recording. And then we'll run the script. And you can see we printed out 2 runs. The entire Tekton pipeline run is dumped to the console due to the way I'm printing what is returned from the list functions, but you can see run 2, above that, run 1, and then above that, the actual pipeline itself. So there you have it, a super simple example of how to connect to the DSP API server from code running outside the cluster.